computer. Hello, this is Deborah Bird. I'm a hypnotherapist and health coach and certified hypnotherapist and health coach. And I have one of my clients here with me today. We're going to be talking about her healing story. And who do I have here today?
It's Mbali Webb.
Yes, good. So Mbali, what did you have? First of all, have we ever met face to face?
We have not met face to face.
So everything we're about to talk about happened over Zoom, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Leah, a lot of people are hesitant to do this process online. So that's why I wanted to clarify that. So, okay, great. So now, what did you originally come to hypnosis for?
So I was a nursing student and I had my big board exam called the NCLEX, and I've always struggled with test taking anxiety throughout nursing school and throughout the program. And this was a big exam. And I knew, first of all, the exam is quite expensive to take. And there's so many other costs that go into it. So I knew after that I just wanted to take it once. And I'd been studying for over a month. But every single time I thought of the exam, my anxiety went, I think it just accelerated like the whole time. Over the 2 years of being in nursing school, every time I had an exam, I would have an anxiety attack, panic attack, sleepless night, throw up, and just be in the restroom the day before and the day of the exam. So I did not want to go through this knowing how hard I'd worked to even get there. So I knew that I needed help. And I read up about, I actually found you online, and I read up about Deborah and hypnotherapy and how it relieves anxiety. And I actually watched a couple of the testimonials, and I was like, okay. And I had read everything on your website, and I was like, wow, this sounds amazing. And I definitely need to try it. So I think the week before my exam, that's when I reached out to you.
Good. So you had some underlying anxiety, and then you also had test. This is your big test where you actually become a nurse. It's called a board, right? And you had that anxiety.
Yes.
So what was your overall underlying level of anxiety? 10 high, 1 low. Just in general, without
my overall level of anxiety, I think was even on a scale of 0 to 10 was like over 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Even I couldn't even sleep just thinking about the exam. Just thinking about it, I had really bad insomnia. I would start getting, tummy problems, dizzy and nauseated. I don't even think on a scale I could even articulate how bad it was. Even my husband was like, you're terrible. And it is a very important exam, because if you do not pass that board exam, you cannot practice as a registered nurse. You don't get registered, you can't practice. So after all those years of studying to be a nurse, it's a big deal. It's a very, very important exam.
Yes. So, well, then we did separate out the anxiety level for the exam too. We talked about that, and we did that sort of as a separate point. Do you remember how you rated your anxiety over taking this test?
I think it was definitely 10. It was, yeah.
It was. See, I'm glad you're saying 10, because we washed it out of your mind.
Yeah.
It was 100.
It was before taking it, before meeting you. Oh my goodness, it was bad.
You said it was when we spoke. You said it was 100.
Yes, that's why it was definitely at 100. On a scale of 0 to 10, I could definitely say it was at 100.
Sure. Good. Well, tests are never easy for anybody, but if you already have anxiety and you're, it's a lot riding on it, it's your future. Yeah. So then we did 2 sessions of hypnotherapy, and we made some dietary changes. Yes. And et cetera, so on. Well, after your first session, how much did your anxiety go down? What was your level of anxiety the second time we spoke?
The second time, like the first time we spoke, my anxiety went all the way down to, I think, a 2, especially since it was like, the first one was a week before the exam. So it was around a level of 2. So I was way more calm, and I changed my diet, included the proteins every 2 hours. And then I also, I drank more water, and I tried to be more active. So when I changed the diet, like I'd have nuts and try to eat protein like you had suggested, and no high fat and not too much carbs and stuff that would turn into sugar and increase my my insulin, and then also increase my anxiety level. So I changed that, and I was eating way more healthy. And my study, especially I think towards the exam, I studied with a level of relaxation that I hadn't had before. And all of this happened definitely through Zoom, which was incredible because, we weren't in the same space or in the same area, but it was over my laptop. But I felt so calm, and it was very effective. And throughout that week, the buildup, it went actually it was between 0 to 2. And the reason it was that is sometimes when I do my practice test, then maybe I would get that feeling again, but I was generally way more calm leading towards my exam. And then the day of the exam, when we had that session in the morning, I was definitely calm as a cucumber. I was so calm. Like, another thing that helped was the breathing. So every time I felt like anxiety was coming up, I would do like my trigger.
That's the anchor word, where you put your 3 fingers together and you do a breathing process and you relax.
Yes.
It's called the anchor.
The anchor was so helpful because when I felt that build up and then I would do that, that would help to calm me down. And so having that session the morning before the exam and going into the exam with such a calm spirit, and just not, because usually I would go into an exam with just everything rushing through. Instead of focusing on what I know, I focus on all the things that I think I will do wrong, or and just so focused on anxiety. But that was like sideline. And it was just, I was able to, and another thing that was so helpful was accepting when the anxiety starts coming. And it was so helpful. It was so enlightening and different, because I would try to push away, like you say, push away from that feeling, but accepting it and letting it in and confronting it and then letting it go was so powerful, because it enabled me to literally go through each question without focusing so much on the problem and the anxiety itself.
And we had identified a couple of common things, common mistakes that you were in a pattern of, which was reading the question too quickly and reading the answers too quickly, and assuming at the get-go that you were going to get it wrong. How did that go during the test?
Oh, having that anchor was amazing. Having that anchor and having that session where I was able to breathe, center myself, and go back and actually slowly read the question, when usually I wouldn't do that. I just rush and look at a keyword and just try to get the first answer I can, just so that I can get over it, helps so much. And when I would feel the buildup of the anxiety, having that anchor to be able to breathe through it and think through it was very helpful. I didn't have that before, and it really made such a significant difference. Well, that's the way I even read.
That is programmed in hypnosis to be very effective and very efficient and very thorough at bringing you back to a calm, relaxed, more centered place. So did you read the questions slowly and the answers slowly?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we got you past that. So that's good. Now your husband was just in the room, and he said some very interesting things. Why don't you just summarize what he said about you?
Oh, he was so pleased. So first, he just wanted to thank you for everything that you have done, because he was suffering in the midst of my anxiety. He was definitely suffering in the midst of my anxiety. And he's literally suffered through my nursing school career because he's always there and he's always trying to calm me down. But after the therapy sessions, he himself was able to see the difference. He was like, he just wanted to say thank you for helping me. He was also very skeptical because he's such a pessimist and very skeptical. It's like, yeah, it doesn't think it's gonna work. But he was like, just seeing the difference, how calm I was. Usually I'm never calm before an exam, how calm I was, how relaxed I was. And he would be in the other room where I was doing my Zoom session with you on the computer. So he was very skeptical, like another room, like, I don't even think this is just working. But then when he saw the difference, he was like, you've done it. He actually said to you, thank you so much for everything you've done for me, and he really appreciates it. And he basically told all of his friends about you, and you might just get a couple of phone calls from some people actually.
Now, did you think you had passed the exam?
I didn't. I actually, it's so mind-blowing because during the exam I was in a flow, which rarely happens. I was in a flow. I was able to read through questions and answer all of them really well. But after the exam, after that whole thing left, I honestly didn't think I did well. I was like, I don't think I did well. I don't know.
Well, being
And
in,
I actually which is also an indication that I actually did do well, is I finished early. I
oh, wow, good.
Exactly. I finished early. And when I was reading some of the questions, I knew most of the answers. I really did. It would all come back to me. But I wasn't thinking too hard about it because I was able to be present, read the question, look at the answer and answer and move forward.
And
And
be
I
in
spent,
the flow, be in the flow. That's one thing that we actually programmed in. We use those exact words in hypnosis. Now, did you pass your exam?
yes, ma'am, I passed my exam.
Congratulations. And so now you're a nurse.
Yes, thank you.
I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled, and
Thank
I
you.
look forward to your ongoing continued success. And it's been so wonderful to work with you and assist you and to meet you and all that. So wonderful. So I think I will conclude our video now. And
Yes.
it's been
Oh,
great.
before you do, I wanted to say thank you as well for the work you do. That
Okay.
was so incredible. And just for being present and being able to not only just are you available like via email, but text as well. I can tell you're very passionate about your work, and I really appreciate you for what you do because your passion really definitely comes through. So thank you.
Oh, that's lovely. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay. Bye-bye. And thank you for this wonderful video testimonial. You've helped a lot of people. So thank you.